Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Safe App podcast. Today we are joined by our guest, Anita Eyles, and she is the brand owner of Totally Derma. We're very excited to have her here today. Welcome, Anita.
Thank you so much, Suning, and thank you so much, Suba.
Thank you
Great
so much.
to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on our podcast. I think today it's a very interesting topic because both Suming and I have been kind of debating about it. It's about collagen.
Yes,
Collagen.
ingestible collagen.
Supplementation in your daily diet.
Yeah.
And kind of the benefits of it, and who best to actually talk about this than someone who's actually made the product itself.
Yeah.
Before we start, would you like to just give a little bit of background on how this all started?
Yeah.
So we launched in 2017, but prior to that, my background is supplements. And I ran a supplements company for 15 years before stumbling on the hero ingredient that happens to be in Totally Derma. It's called Arthred. So it was a particular amino acid peptide that I was taking whilst I was training for a half marathon. And I had some issues, some niggly issues with especially my right knee was bothering me. So I did some research and I stumbled upon this product called Arthred.
Right.
And I saw that it repaired cartilage in joints. It had its medical heritage in osteoarthritis. So I thought, I'm going to take this. And it really was incredible. It wasn't a one-hit wonder. It took a couple of months, but it really did make a difference. But it was what it was doing to my hair and my skin and my nails and my gut health and things that were sort of more aesthetic. So I decided then to translate the musculoskeletal benefits of a product into the aesthetic arena. So for that, we needed to add other ingredients.
Amazing. So how did it affect your joints, for example? What sort of were you having niggly pains?
Yes, I just found the flexibility wasn't there and I was having a bit of issues and I thought, well, if I have to run 13 miles, I'm going to have to get something that is going to be evidence-based. And it really did work. It really did. It was completely pain-free. As a matter of fact, I have a friend now. She has run, I think it's 11 marathons, and she has not been without this product for the last 11 marathons, for the last 11 runs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does she just take it continuously?
She takes it continuously every single day without fail, and she says, Anita, I am positive that has made me injury-free.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I've been always skeptical about collagen supplements, so I'm very intrigued and I'd like to find out more. Definitely.
She's a nurse as well, so she
Yeah.
knows her stuff.
Yeah.
So I think from our point of view, so like Sue mentioned, she's quite skeptical about collagen, and I'm more pro collagen.
Yeah.
And I guess we both have our reasonings behind it. So I'll just go on my reasoning on the collagen bit. My reasoning is more of I am like every consumer. If I see it on Instagram or if I see it on socials, don't laugh. It is definitely something that's going to be bought, especially with me. I do see all of this Instagram socials where they have collagen and then you have shiny hair. And then I'm like, oh yes, that's what I want. Or collagen and great skin.
I would say that she's a social media buyer for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Not just in the beauty side of things, but also pots and pans. She's like, oh, that looks like a great buy. She'll buy that. And then the Instagram organizes it for her fridge, her shelves.
Everything.
She buys that. Yep.
Really?
Yes, everything. You see it on Instagram. I even bought the skincare, it's kind of it's not a hydrofacial, but the suction thing that suctions your pores?
Yes.
Oh, I bought it.
Did you buy that too?
Yeah.
Did it work?
No. It does not work. My pores are still...
Yeah, but she buys it anyway. She's I'm going to try it out myself.
Okay, but I feel like I digress. So anyway, that's the main reason why. And I think I have taken some of the collagen, but my issue with that is then I don't have kind of a continuity because I don't see results fast.
Yes, exactly.
But I do like the concept of knowing that collagen can help. So that's my pro.
Yeah.
Suming?
I think my skepticism probably stems more from I think collagen, for example, there's a lot of like skin injectables out there where you can inject and it helps with the production of collagen. So my thinking is that if I can have a product that you inject directly into my skin and it helps with the collagen production, then why would I ingest it instead and then wait for months and then it might or might not have a benefit?
Yeah.
That's one thing. And also, I don't know how much of it ingested won't get broken down. So that's hence my skepticism.
Yes, okay. Well, you know, when you go for the quick fix, the injectable, it's an instant result.
Yeah.
And you know that you're going to walk out and hours later, a couple of days later, you're going to see a result. With the collagen supplement, the most important aspect is it needs to be absorbed.
Yeah.
So you have to have 95% absorption. And how that works is it's all about the mechanism of delivery. And you're right, a lot of medics out there, they do think that it's just broken down in the gut and then excreted. Yeah. It's all about size. Size matters. You have to have the tiny little molecular weight, size, and structure getting in. What you want is something that's pre-digested. Yeah. And the majority of supplements out there are not absorbed because the molecule is too big. It's about 70 kilodaltons. What you're really looking for is 2 to 3 kilodaltons. So what you want is pre-digested. And what pre-digested means is it bypasses the gut. Yeah. You don't need the digestive enzymes to break it down. Okay. Yep. It's absorbed in the small intestine and then it's delivered systemically everywhere it needs to go. So we're talking skin, hair, nails, tendons, ligaments, cartilage, bladder, urethra, even the vagina. So
is pre-digested the same as hydrolyzed?
So there's hydrolyzed and then there's enzymatically hydrolyzed. Okay. So it depends on how much time per batch it's been enzymatically hydrolyzed. Right. The hydrolyzation doesn't necessarily mean pre-digested. Okay. And this is where the difference. I just feel in the last 3 to 4 years, there's been an onslaught of collagen supplements out there. And how does a consumer know which one to purchase? That. Is it working? How long does it take to work? Where's the medical, the clinical data? Yeah. Where's the efficacy? And this is where we've launched 7 years ago, and we do have that medical heritage that we're very proud of.
I think what you've actually brought up, which was very accurate, is that there's a lot of supplements there. Yeah. And it's very hard, especially if I'm interested in something. Yeah. And it doesn't help that with social media, as soon as you see one collagen supplement, a lot of collagen supplements keep coming up.
Yes.
But then how do we differentiate that? So as a consumer, so if I'm coming up, what do I have to look at or look for?
You are looking for instance, there's marine collagen and there's bovine collagen. Yeah. The best collagens are the ones that contain type 1, type 2, and type 3. Marine is type 1. And and anybody who's looking to have a vegan collagen, there is no such thing as vegan collagen. You need to have an animal protein. It has to come from an animal or a fish, so a chicken or a pig or a cow, etc. In terms of absorption, powder versus liquid, again, it doesn't matter if it's a powder as long as it's pre-digested. Right. And even if you just, not that you would want to, but it's not palatable, but if you took a scoop of powder that is 2 kilodalton that's enzymatically hydrolyzed, it would be absorbed within 90 minutes. And we have done the blood serums and skin biopsies to show that it is absorbed, and B, that the collagen and the elastin and the HA is actually forming in the skin, as well as the connective tissues within the body.
And sorry, what was that time frame like? Is it
90 minutes? So the subjects would, in our clinical study, involving all of the totality of all of the ingredients in Totally Derma, they were given baseline injection, baseline bloods, and then 90 minutes post-ingestion, the bloods were drawn again to see that the serum so we're getting into tech speak now, but the serum marker for collagen in the blood is hydroxyproline. It's the amino acid hydroxyproline.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And we could see that the spike levels were anywhere between 1,500% and 3,500%. for the candidates who were in the skin trial.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis the candidates that were in the Arthred, which is the hero ingredient, those hydroxyproline levels spiked 550%. So by adding things like hyaluronic acid and lots of antioxidants, it created this sort of double collagen to HA ratio effect going in the body, and so therefore the absorption levels had a higher uptake.
Oh wow. Okay, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you talk to us about all the other ingredients that are?
Yeah. So, you know, when I told you that I was just taking Arthred and I found that the aesthetic benefits were there.
Yeah.
I worked with a nutritional therapist and some medical grade, pharmaceutical grade food supplement suppliers in the US. And we came to the conclusion that you need the hyaluronic acid in there, and you need antioxidants. And the antioxidants are added to reduce oxidative stress, to reduce free radical damage, and the entire premise of designing the formulation was to reduce inflammation. We're all looking for is reducing inflammation in the skin and in the body. So we added antioxidants to reduce inflammation. That was probably the biggest premise of designing the formulation, was to reduce inflammation, to reduce oxidative stress, to reduce free radical damage, and to address cross-linking issues in skin, i.e. wrinkles. So this is how it differentiates itself from any other supplement out there on the market too. It's type 1, type 2, and type 3 collagens, and it contains hyaluronic acid. So you're going to have better lubrication, more increased hydration levels in the skin. And then when you add those antioxidants, you've got a powerhouse of anti-inflammatories and a couple of minerals, copper and manganese, because you cannot synthesize collagen without copper. So it sort of sets itself apart from other supplements in the market. But from a consumer standpoint, how do they know? You know, the price point reflects all of those ingredients in the formulation.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. Because, so if you're saying that you can't synthesize collagen without the copper, then people who are ingesting collagen supplements, I don't know, because they could range from anything from like £5 to like £500. Like, you know, the range is so varied out there, and consumers are none the wiser. Like, they go on, they're like, oh, okay, sounds like it's like a cheap enough product that I can afford, and it says that it's a collagen supplement. I don't know any better, but like I'll go for probably not the cheapest, but maybe like, you know, somewhere in the middle.
I won't lie, I'm that consumer.
You're that consumer.
I am that consumer.
See, I mean, vitamin C, for instance. We all know topically how well vitamin C is such a great brightener, right? Again, if you add vitamin C and a high dose, like 250 milligrams, which is about 315% of the RDA, into a formulation, you know that you've got something that is going to synthesize even more collagen with that vitamin C. Zinc is also a great partner with vitamin C. And antioxidants like green tea extract, great anti-inflammatory, grapeseed extract, fabulous extract for women who are menopausal to take. Alpha lipoic acid, again, another one that's going to regenerate vitamin C and vitamin E. So yes,
but how are those people who are selling a collagen product with no copper in there? How do those products work then?
It's not going to be as effective. It's the collagen, if the molecule is pre-digested, will reach the blood supply. But if you've got a collagen supplement that has all these other added ingredients, it's just going to it's on a completely different level. It becomes a different animal for skin health, for instance, because, you know, collagen is the most abundant protein in the whole body. We need it for our skin health, for our gut health, for our joint health, for our menopausal health, for our bone health. And when it's depleted, you know, where are you going to get that? How are you going to top your levels up? Okay, you can eat well, you can stop smoking, you can start using your SPF, but you need to be eating vast amounts of animal protein to get those same levels. So by supplementing with a collagen supplement that is going to be absorbed, you are achieving high concentrated levels of amino acids like proline and glycine and
Yeah.
hydroxyproline that you can't get from food, and things like bone broth. Everybody's talking about bone broth.
Yeah.
You'd have to ingest vats and vats of bone broth to get the same levels of concentrated
Definitely.
amounts in, say, 10,000 milligrams of a collagen supplement, which again is deemed to be therapeutic dose. There's anywhere between 2,000 and 10,000 out there. If, as long as it's absorbed, it will be effective. But 10,000 is deemed in the Arthred studies to have been the therapeutic dose.
Right. Okay.
I've got a question though, like how long would you see the effects? So I know like you can see it via biochemistry, so taking serum blood measurements, but as a consumer, what would I expect? Like, am I going to be like, next day I'm going to have radiant skin? Or?
No, and that's, I mean, the reason why we chose to go down the medical route, practitioner route, was for that very reason. With all the plethora of supplements on the market, how do you know? So we decided to go down that route. So we found anywhere between 1 month and 3 months was the ideal time to take it. So in 1 month, you saw radiance and hydration. And it's not a one-hit wonder. It's not a week later. It's up to 30 days later. And then anywhere between 6 and 12 weeks, you're going to see things like density, elasticity, plumpness, that sort of thing. You'll be able to see and feel more measurable differences after 3 months. And a consumer who only takes it for a month and then
expects
stops,
miracles.
it's not going to work. It's a long-term solution to your, and it's ad infinitum. It's every day, amen, for the rest of your life.
Right.
Especially after the age of 35.
Okay.
20.
So if I'm out there looking for a collagen supplement, for example, then what sort of what should I be looking for on the ingredient list? So for example, if I'm looking at collagen, what's like, how many milligram am I looking for as like an absolute minimum for it to be actually beneficial? Or
I think 7,000 minimum.
7,000
milligrams.
Okay.
And marine is mainly type 1.
Yeah.
So if you are don't like meat, for instance, and it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Do your marine, but anything less, and you know, capsules. Sometimes they say, take 4 capsules in the morning, take 4 capsules at night.
Yeah.
If you look at the ingredient list in that, or the dosage, it's nowhere near therapeutic dosage. It's about 2,000 milligrams.
Right. Even after 4.
Even after 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, it's usually 500 milligrams per capsule.
Okay.
So you're taking 1,000 in the morning and 1,000 at night.
And it's like a huge capsule. It's not like the small capsules.
They can be quite large.
Yeah.
Totally Derma contains the equivalent of 26 capsule alternatives in 1 scoop. So who wants to ingest?
I mean, that sounds a lot easier. Like, you know, 1 scoop, little drink, and I'm done.
Yes.
Little drink.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's great, and it's fantastic in yogurt.
Talking about that, I remember you mentioning before that you should avoid putting it in a hot drink. Am I right?
Yes, that'll
because
render
I think that could be a common mistake out there.
Oh, I tell you, you're right, because so many people are putting it in their soup or in their coffee.
I put it in coffee.
You can't.
She gave it to me with
pre-digested amino acid.
I did.
It won't work. It'll render the amino acids completely null and void.
See, like I know all this information. Like I've
now
learned it.
Yeah, because we learned it.
But we have learned it, and it makes total sense. Like what you're saying. But again, like this is not information that I think about because. Again, like I said, it's a huge. I want to say it's a trend now. Collagen, I would say, not that it was like we've known about collagen for a very long time.
Yes,
but because now with social media, obviously people are talking more about skin health, gut health, and collagen's on the forefront.
Yes.
But again, like even though like someone like I know what you're talking about and I understand the science behind it, it's still difficult for me to find a good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because no one's talking about the ingredients.
Yes.
No one's talking about how much you need.
Exactly.
Also the effects, how long it takes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It takes a good 3 months, and you know, it's an investment. I always say you have to be compliant on a supplement like that, and you need to have patience. And if you have a particular condition, like joint pain.
Yeah.
Or you have something like leaky gut, for instance. Now that's another thing, because the GI tract, the gastrointestinal tract, is nothing more than connective tissue. And when you have leaky gut and you're maybe showing up with disrupted skin conditions like acne or rosacea or psoriasis, people think, well, it's hormonal. Not necessarily. If people have leaky gut and they're eating too much sugar, or they're eating too many processed foods, and the bad for us toxins are leaking into the bloodstream and then causing this disruption, you can heal and seal, as what we say, and tighten up those junctions in the GI tract by drinking 2 kilodalton amino acid peptides. It will, and we have some studies that show cystic acne patients who had a horrific outcome with, they had been taking Roaccutane, they had been taking topical antibiotics, and then they started on a 12-week course, and it really made a massive difference. So it's all about finding the outcome.
Yeah.
Is it helping you?
Yeah.
You will continue on that forever.
Yeah.
That is true.
And for products that are available out there, do they tend to show you how many kilodalton of collagen there is, or is it something
They
like
don't tell you
is that
normally.
what they would tell you, or would they just tell you how many milligram? Is that what
They would tell you on the label
consumer-
how many milligrams.
Right. Okay.
And you know, marketing material, obviously we can say anything in marketing material, but labels don't lie.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And labels are integral to educational information for people. So just choose wisely, read your labels very well. Research the ingredients that are in there. Look at the dosages. Are they therapeutic?
Yeah.
Etc.
I think that's really, really good advice.
Yeah.
That is
which
really good.
Suba should really heed.
I agree. I
Yeah.
really need to. But I was just gonna say that I totally agree with what you're saying, that gut health does come out in skin manifestations, because that's what we've also been taught in med school. Like, you know, if you have like certain gut diseases like IBD, you get skin
Yes.
manifestations.
Yeah.
So that is something that is very true.
So true, isn't it? The gut
Yeah.
and skin connection is definitely a thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Also, kind of like hormones also cause kind of skin issues and all that. So totally agree. I think the other topic that I'm very interested in, only because I think there are some of our practitioners who specialize in menopause.
Yes.
So I know you've mentioned that collagen, there are four main areas where they actually work with in menopause, skin health, joint, and
Gut health.
Gut
and
health.
gut health.
And bone health.
But
And bone health,
Yeah.
And I think one of the topics like that would be very interesting would be menopause and collagen, and how exactly would
Yes.
taking this supplements
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you're talking menopause, the definition is not having a period for a year, but how many people go through it for 10, 12 years before that in
Yep.
The
perimenopause?
perimenopausal,
And the dry, the lax skin, the insomnia, the dry, it's not just the hot flushes, it's everything else, the brain fog and everything else that goes with it.
Yeah.
So taking a supplement that you know is going to address all of these: skin health, joint health, gut health, bone health, menopause, you know, it's something that we have found that has been the biggest area of growth for us. And, you know, it's something that you really can't test for, but since launch in 2017 now, we took a musculoskeletal and made it a skin supplement. But the amount of women who are menopausal who say, Anita, my hair, my skin, my nails, my gut, but it's what's going on down there has made the most incredible difference.
Would you say
Vaginal rejuvenation.
Vaginal dryness has been a thing of the past. Sorry, Alex.
would you say that there is a role of collagen supplement for perimenopause and also menopausal women out there, that there's a role for collagen supplement instead of, say, hormone replacement therapy?
I think they both
adjunct.
I think they both have roles to play for sure. I think anybody who needs their progesterone or their estrogen supplementation, HRT, stick with that. But this is just only going to enhance
Yeah.
all of those,
Yeah.
you know. Do you know, I told you that there's hyaluronic acid
Yeah.
within the
Yes.
supplement. It is that without a shadow of a doubt, the combination of the collagen
Yeah.
and the hyaluronic acid,
Yeah.
that double ratio, that is secreting, that is lubricating, you know, that is hydrating. And collagen is not selective. Collagen goes everywhere it needs to go.
True.
So skin may be last in the queue.
Yeah.
It may take 6 to 12 weeks.
Right.
But if you have intimate health issues, you should find a difference.
There you go. You heard
more
it here.
quickly than that.
I think I think it's really interesting that it has so many benefits that people don't talk about. They talk about predominantly, you know, skin and how it helps with like anti-aging, for example, for wrinkles, for the hydration of your skin. But actually, it's the other improvement that you see in your overall health that I think really makes a difference.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the topic that is difficult to discuss. But I think in our previous podcast with Hannah, where we talk about menopause on all of these issues, and one of the things that when we spoke to her on our podcast, which was very interesting, is that people started, like you mentioned, 10 years before they're actually going to be menopausal.
Yeah.
So like in their late 30s, like. And it's a very scary thought for me. Very scary thought. So like I think, and that's where we should start getting our collagen in, shouldn't we?
You said 35.
Yeah, well,
so
you know, 35. We lose 30% of our collagen in the first 5 years of menopause. And if you're losing 1% from the age of 26, which is what the data suggests, 26, say 50, you say you go through menopause at 52. You've lost pretty much 25% right there, right?
Yes.
And then from 52 to say 55, you're going to lose another 30%.
Yeah.
So there's 55%.
Yeah.
Where's that 45% collagen going to come from? It needs to come not just from diet, supplementation is key.
Yeah, but so I was reading this actually on one of the scientific papers. So my understanding is that there's still sort of like, there is really good evidence for the improvement in skin in general.
Yeah.
But one of it actually mentioned that when you take collagen supplementation, it doesn't directly, we don't know for sure if it directly causes the collagen synthesis or that it pushes your body to then, the collagen that's already in your body to then start to synthesize
That's
more.
what it is.
Yeah.
We have collagen in our body.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like wound recovery. It's kind of like it feels like there's a wound happening.
Yeah.
When the ingestion occurs.
Yeah.
So then you start to produce more collagen on top of that, and it just
It's
escalate.
just like,
It's
exactly
mimicking
that.
wound recovery basically is
Yeah.
what is happening when you're ingesting collagen.
Right.
It's just topping up the collagen levels that you already have.
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah.
And it's not just that it's coming, it's synthesizing out of nowhere from the from the ingestion. It's actually pushing what your body already has.
Exactly.
Your reserve to then push
Exactly.
more. Yes,
Exactly.
I think that's really interesting, and it's really important that our listeners understand that that's how it works.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Yes. And it's cumulative. You know, some people from a financial point of view, they think, well, can I go off it? Can I go on to maintenance? If you've had a cumulative effect, and we have found that people in their 30s, for instance, who are on it, they only need to go on it for the 90-day program. And then they can go on it every other day, say 4 times a week, if finance is an issue. But anybody who's in their 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s, it's kind of a month per decade.
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to go on maintenance when you're in your 60s, you should be on it for about 6 months to build your bank of collagen, and then you can sort of go on it every other day. But conversely, if you decide to go that way, and you find that your knees are creaking, or you're not articulating as well, or your skin is more lax, and you have to, so it's just a litmus test. You just have to figure out when you need to up it and when you can maintain.
Yeah. I think that's really interesting, because actually we invest so much, like, in our generation especially, people spend so much like hair, makeup, nails. We actually spend so much money on a lot of other things.
Yes.
And a lot of them are like quick fixes.
Yes.
But actually what we really want to, I guess, like also spread out there, it really is about investing in yourself. And I think my take home message really from what you're saying is that a lot of this collagen supplementation is an investment in yourself, because that you have to put in the time and the money, of course, that comes with it. But actually you're investing in like an overall health.
Yes.
I'm almost
Yes.
sold, as you can
Yes.
see. I'm pretty much like a convert now.
Yeah.
Looking at her and I'm like,
Yeah.
you go girl.
You go, girl.
Because I feel like a lot of it, like my take-home message is the investment in yourself, and I like that about.
She did
Yeah.
say, she did say
Long-term
like
investment.
after seeing your, because we met Anita at the Scottish Aesthetic Conference.
Yes.
Yeah.
After actually talking to you about your brand, she
Yeah.
was actually a little bit more convinced.
Yes,
Wow.
I was
Only
definitely.
because
Yes.
what you've said about Totally Derma and how it's how it actually gets absorbed into the body. So then
Yes.
I feel like her,
Yes.
her
Yes.
analytical brain went like, oh
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, and then I did actually go home and read up a lot about it. Like,
That's
I
true,
did,
she
like,
did.
I was like in a PubMed rabbit hole.
she was.
Oh, you were.
I'm such a like
Yes.
I need evidence based like for
Yes.
everything, so I would go home and I'll read up on everything, and
Yes.
like that's basically what I
Yes.
I just need that Instagram.
You
She's-
just need the
we are, like,
Instagram.
completely opposite.
Completely
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're like completely opposite ends of the spectrum of the consumer.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are.
Evidence-based.
Yeah,
Instagram.
Yeah.
TikTok.
TikTok. I'm not on TikTok just yet because I am going to go down that rabbit hole.
Yes.
Already Instagram, I'm quite bad with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought, why don't we talk a little bit more about Totally Derma now? What makes Totally Derma different from all the other brands?
yeah,
Well, okay, so collagen supplements usually contain collagen, amino acid peptides, and that's it.
Yeah.
Whether there are 2 to 70 kilodaltons, say.
Yeah.
Some are absorbed, some aren't.
Yeah.
Marine is type 1, still amino acid peptides.
Yeah.
When you add these other ingredients, it becomes a nutraceutical. And a nutraceutical straddles pharmaceutical and it straddles nutrition.
Yeah.
So it's providing a health benefit as well as a nutritional value.
Yeah.
And that's what we like to call Totally Derma. It's a
Yeah.
nutraceutical. It's not just a collagen supplement. And as you mentioned before, it's like a long-term skin and body investment, a skin
I
investment.
like that.
Skin investment.
We love that line.
Yeah. Totally Derma contains not just 10,000 milligrams of collagen.
Yeah.
It contains a very, very high dose of a patented hyaluronic acid called Cynovaderma.
Right.
And if you look at the clinical data for Cynovaderma, you can see that it really increases hydration levels and lubrication in tissues.
Yeah.
And then when you add things like the vitamin C, grapeseed extract, green tea extract, alpha lipoic acid, zinc, copper, manganese, all of these are anti-inflammatories. That's what makes it different. There are some supplements that contain vitamin C, but they're not L-ascorbic vitamin C. This is sort of a double electron as opposed to a mineral ascorbate, for instance. It contains type 1, type 2, and type 3. So this is very important.
Yeah.
So type 1 is your hair and your skin and your nails and your bones. And type 2 is your tendons and your ligaments and your cartilage.
Yeah.
But type 3 is why we think it helps with the GI tract, is because it's intestinal walls and blood vessels.
Okay.
Okay, so that is a differentiator too.
Yeah.
What else? So, yes, it's mainly those differences, really. It's
Those
the
are a
HA,
lot of
it's the
differences already.
antioxidants,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I think it
and the
really
type-
sets it apart from the other.
different spectrum of collagens.
Yeah.
It definitely sets it apart, and actually I was very interested in understanding more about the bovine origin or the marine origin for the
Yes.
collagen supplement, because I know some people for religious reasons
Yes.
or some
Yes.
people who are vegan, for example. So
Yes.
if for those people who are or vegetarian or vegan who would have an issue with taking marine or bovine collagen supplementation, what would
Yes.
you advise them?
It's just a choice, I suppose. I mean, you can't, vegan is not a protein. You can't get vegan protein or a collagen vegan supplement.
Yeah.
So you'd have to supplement with other other things. You know, I feel
like
vegans food like vitamin D and magnesium and vitamin B6, B12. But in terms of collagen, it's totally their choice. Yes, it originates from the inside of the hide, okay? So it's scraped. It's like a jelly baby, times 100 in terms of enzymatic hydrolyzation.
Yeah.
So it's so far removed from the original animal that we do have people who are, have certain cultures who, you know, they'll have a leather jacket, they'll have a leather handbag, you know, that's it.
That's true.
So
that's very true.
they potentially will decide, do you know what? So this is for my health.
It's more a personal choice, really.
It's a personal choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where about from marine? Where do they come from?
Fish.
Like
fish scales.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So just for our viewers, where can we get Totally Derma?
Well, Totally Derma, our business model is B2B. So we have gone down the medical aesthetic practitioner route, the nutritional therapist route, osteopathy, and physiotherapists.
Right, okay.
So it's that type of, you know, the musculoskeletal and the aesthetic market.
Yeah.
For that very reason, they understand the ingredients, they understand the science, they understand the therapeutic dosages, and how to best recommend this to their patients.
Yeah.
And touching on that compliance, you know, compliance is really key.
Yeah.
So where can we buy it? Well, you can go onto the Totally Derma website. And you can put in your address in the interactive map, and a clinic closest to you will pop up.
That shows.
And we also have a handful of authorized skincare retailers who we do authorize.
Okay.
Just to, the most important thing is price point. Everybody is playing well together, and nobody is.
Perfect. So
this is why it's so important that so if you're interested in buying like Totally Derma's product, it's really important to go to a qualified healthcare professional, such as any of the practitioners would be on Safe App.
Yeah. I think we're going to end our podcast here.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening in and tuning in or watching it today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Anita, for coming down to our studio today and joining us today and sharing all her pearls and wisdoms in the collagen world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye.